All right, today we're taking a journey into what might be the most complex object in the entire known universe, your brain. We're going to start at the very bottom, with the ancient wiring that keeps you alive, and work our way all the way up to the parts that let you think, feel, and be. Well, you. Let's get into it.
I mean, really think about that for a second. How does this 3-pound lump of tissue create everything you've ever experienced? Every sight, every sound, every memory, your hopes, your dreams, it all comes from right in there. That's the incredible mystery we're going to start to unravel.
And get this, to pull that off, your brain needs a ton of power. It's only about 2% of your body weight, but it hogs a whopping 20% of all your oxygen and calories. It's in a constant electrical storm with billions of cells firing away. This thing isn't just an organ, it is the high-performance engine of your entire existence.
Okay, so if this engine is so important, how do we protect it? You know, the brain is actually really delicate, kind of squishy. So it makes sense that we've evolved this amazing, multi-layered security system to guard our command center.
First up, you've got the skull, your own personal, built-in hard hat. But that's just layer one. Underneath that, you've got the Meninges, which are these 3 tough membranes that act like a protective wrap. And then finally, the brain itself is floating in something called cerebrospinal fluid. It's basically a liquid cushion, a shock absorber for any bumps and jolts. It's just an incredible security setup for the most valuable thing you own.
So our tour starts at the very base of the brain, in the oldest, most primitive part, the hindbrain. You can think of this as your body's automatic life support system. It handles all the critical stuff that, thankfully, you never ever have to think about.
Deep down in the brainstem is the medulla oblongata. This is the absolute non-negotiable part of you. It's the reason your heart is beating right now, the reason you're breathing without even trying. This little nub is running the show, which is why any damage to this area is almost always fatal.
Right above the medulla, you've got the pons. And pons literally means bridge. That's the perfect name for it, because that's exactly what it is. It's a massive relay station, passing signals back and forth between the thinking parts of your brain and the rest of your body. It also gives the medulla a hand, making sure your breathing rhythm is nice and steady.
And tucked away at the back here is the cerebellum, which means little brain. Now, it doesn't start your movements, but it perfects them. Every single smooth, coordinated action you take, from just walking across the room without falling over to playing the piano, that's all being fine-tuned by this incredible master of motor control.
Okay, moving up from pure survival, we're now entering the region that includes the midbrain and this collection of parts called the limbic system. This is where things get really fascinating. We're talking about the realm of emotion, memory, and routing all the information coming in from your senses.
The midbrain is basically your reflex headquarters. You know that jump you do when you hear a sudden loud noise? Or how you instantly turn your head when you see a flash of light in your peripheral vision? Yep, that's your midbrain, reacting way faster than you could ever consciously think about it.
Next, let's meet the thalamus. I want you to think of this as the brain's grand central station. Pretty much everything you see, hear, and feel, with the weird exception of smell, it all has to pass through the thalamus first. It's like a master switchboard operator, sorting all that incoming data and sending it to the right department upstairs for processing.
Nearby, you've got these 2 little almond-shaped clusters called the amygdala. This is your internal alarm system, your personal threat detector. It's constantly scanning for danger and is the source of really powerful emotions like fear and aggression. It's designed to kick in that fight-or-flight response to keep you safe.
And right next door to that alarm system is the hippocampus. Now this is a big one. This isn't where your memories are stored for the long term, but it's where they're made. The hippocampus is like a memory architect. It takes all the experiences from your day and transforms them from fragile, short-term thoughts into solid, long-term memories.
So now we arrive at the top floor, the cerebrum. This is that iconic, big, wrinkly outer layer you always picture when you think of a brain. This is home base for your personality, your ability to reason, and all of your conscious thoughts.
And the cerebrum is made of 2 main types of tissue. You've got the gray matter, which is mostly on the surface. Think of that as all the little processors, the computers where the actual thinking happens. Then underneath, you have the white matter. That's all the cabling, the brain's super high-speed internet that connects all those processors together.
This whole thinking cap, the cortex, is split into 4 big sections, or lobes, and each one has a special job. It's like an executive team. Up at the front, you've got the frontal lobe. That's the CEO. It does the planning, makes decisions, and kind of runs your personality. Then behind that is the parietal lobe, which is like your personal GPS, figuring out where you are in the world based on sensory info.
On the sides, you have the temporal lobes, the media hub. They process everything you hear, understand language, and help with memory. And finally, way at the back, the occipital lobe is the dedicated vision center. Its whole job is to turn the raw data from your eyes into the rich world you see around you.
Okay, we've seen all the big structures, but what are they actually made of? Let's zoom in. I mean, way in, down to the cellular level to meet the tiny little workers that make this whole incredible operation possible.
Just look at that number for a second. 86 billion, with a B. That's the best estimate we have for the number of neurons packed inside your skull. Every single one is a tiny biological computer, and they're all connected in a network that is just, well, it's almost impossible to imagine.
And those 86 billion neurons, they don't work alone. They're the messengers, the stars of the show, firing off signals. But they have a massive and equally important support crew, the glial cells. You can think of the glial cells as the unsung heroes of the brain. They feed, protect, and insulate the neurons, making sure the whole system runs smoothly.
So when you put it all together, the protective armor, the ancient survival systems, the emotional core, the giant thinking cortex, and the 86 billion cells that make it all work, you end up with this one simple but totally profound truth. There is nothing else like it that we've ever found.
And the crazy part is that this whole universe of complexity isn't off in some distant galaxy. It's right here, right behind your eyes. We've journeyed all the way from the ancient brainstem that keeps you breathing to the cortex that lets you ponder your own existence. This incredible instrument is how you build your reality. So, with 86 billion neurons firing away for you, what masterpiece will you create?